threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Man, we just got slammed with an EMP.
We did, man. This is a little deja vu, isn't it?
It's super weird.
This is the first time this has happened in years. We actually had a power surge in the studio about 10 minutes into the podcast.
It just like was
gone.
but we had lights.
Yeah.
So we got our way.
Gosh dang it. We're back, though.
We had the best jokes we probably had in the whole history of our podcast.
And we lost them all. That's such a bummer, you guys.
Man, dang it.
We're going to try it again, though.
Yeah.
Jokes are never as good the second time through, but
They aren't.
it is what it is. Cam, we got to tell the people they need to get out their notepads.
I think they already have them out.
Yeah, they
They
probably
saw
do.
the title.
They got to bring in the fam.
Yeah.
Say you sit down. We got some listening to do today, right?
They've been waiting.
Yeah,
They've been
yeah.
waiting for this list. And I
For
mean, we didn't even fully complete it.
No,
we didn't even make it to the full 50, but
no. That's why we said almost.
we're just going to say we have 50 foods
50, yeah.
that last indefinitely.
Sure.
And I mean, you might be the laziest prepper and you just don't want to be rotating food all day long.
For sure. I mean,
So you're
who
just
has
like,
time for that?
I want to put it away and I want it to last an eternity.
Yeah.
And that's where our list is going to
Exactly.
maybe come close. Some of them aren't even come close to that, but
Yeah.
we're going to tell you
Right.
how to store it and what's good to store. So there you go.
But I got to tell you about BattleBox first, Cameron.
Yeah, you do.
It is the monthly subscription box for men, full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, BattleBox sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you'd normally pay. You never know what's in the next box, but here's a sampling of what users received this month. The Dead Fish Co. Wenge Alpine Foldable Chef Knife. This thing is a beautiful, beautiful creation.
It really is.
Right? Now we love it.
I think I'm just going to use it as my EDC.
We got 50 foods right now you could use it on, probably.
Salt.
Cut up the salt.
Sugar cubes.
Sugar.
Oh, man.
Exactly. And then if you're trying to cut them up at night, we have the Nikon H35 1000 lumen headlight. Yeah, cooking. There's nothing like cooking in the
clubhouse.
evening.
It feels like you're going to a rave or something.
Yeah,
They're
kind of
cooking.
does. Pull out your chef knife. That's great. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. All this badassness starts at just $34.99 a month. They've shipped almost 16 trillion boxes. Cam, that's an updated number I just got from the BattleBox headquarters.
It's just ticking up.
Yeah, it is,
as
man.
we're
It's just
talking.
like constantly, like, as we're speaking, there's
Yeah.
another order. It's crazy. They won Best Men's Subscription Box of 2017. Our listeners get a free knife when you sign up at trybattlebox.com/casualpreppers. Get your first BattleBox plus a free knife at battlebox.com.
Do it.
Listener reviews starts now.
Yeah.
It's LOL.
Laughing out loud.
Yep.
5 stars.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Megan, I said equals D before, but we learned and realized it's just a smiley face.
It's a smiley face. We're like, Meg equals D, thank you.
What's up, Meg equals D?
But it's Meg smiley face.
Yeah. I've laughed out loud with every episode I've listened to. Love it. Great information with even better delivery.
We do have some good delivery.
Yeah,
don't we?
we sure do.
It's really great.
Yeah,
Thank
lots
you.
of- yeah. It's
Thanks,
good.
Meg equals D. If you guys want to be a part of this portion of the podcast, go to iTunes, go to Facebook, and leave us a 5-star review. Make it awesome. We just got to get
It's a mad
Cam
world.
off his damn phone.
Stupid work.
Okay.
Text me about stuff.
Gosh.
Help. My throat hurts.
Ears. No.
Somebody
throat.
came in with ears. What do we do?
They got 2 ears. I only got time for one. What should I do?
We're going to have to look at the other one next week.
We'll
one
schedule
ear.
in for one more. We'll look at the other side next
That's
week.
the hard part of my job. There's
Yeah.
two. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, you got 2 nose holes as well.
Yeah, can't finish off. Can't just say, "Hey, we're done." I only looked at one.
Hey, Cam.
Yeah.
Our leader, the leader of the free world. He's got the COVID.
Yeah,
That's mad world.
that is.
This poor old frail man.
Man.
I don't know if he can make it through this. I hope he does.
I think so. I'm sure that the party's like, this is a perfect opportunity for us.
But the funny thing is in the articles, it's like, he's in isolation for the next little bit. And I'm like, you know what? It's probably going to be like, well, when is the election? How long can we have him have COVID? There's a thing called long COVID I've been hearing about. Maybe that's what he's got.
It's like for like 3 or 4 more years.
He doesn't have to be on camera. He doesn't have to give speeches.
Or they can blame it all on COVID.
Yeah. And
our poor president's speech
yeah,
is all messed up by COVID.
Oh, man. We're going to get in trouble for this because there's going to be some people.
What?
You make fun of old people with COVID.
2 things I hate hearing people make fun of.
There's nothing worse.
Yeah, that's a bad deal.
It is a bad deal. So get well soon.
Yeah.
Prez.
Get everybody write him a card.
Yeah.
So this is crazy.
Yeah. Mad.
The hunt is on for an aggressive monkey which has attacked 18 people, including a baby, in the past 10 days.
Jeez.
Yeah, the police in Japan are stepping up their search for the wild animal after it broke into homes and schools across Yamaguchi City.
Yamaguchi. That's how you pronounce it.
Yamaguchi.
I grew up
That's
in
perfect
Yamaguchi.
Japanese.
I grew up on the outskirts of Yamaguchi in a farm out there. We were raising
Way down
monkeys.
in Yamaguchi.
We were raising monkeys in Yamaguchi.
That's the country
Way
Japanese
down
song.
yonder in Yamaguchi. All them
Little monkey
monkeys.
crazy and scratching up your
Hoochie coochie.
scratching your hoochie coochie. Wait a minute.
I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Yeah.
It's explicit. The Japanese macaque attacked and scratched a 4-year-old toddler on the first. This is tough to read.
You know what,
right
though?
here. First floor flat after
Yeah.
sliding open the splice screen.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a monkey outside. Scratch.
Take that, stupid Japanese baby. At least it's picked on like humans its own size.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Apparently, it's like 40 to 50 centimeters tall, which is.
Well, that could be anything.
To me, that sounds like an ant, but I don't know my
40
centimeters super well.
That could be Godzilla or it could be like 2 inches. We don't know.
Yeah, so this monkey
Yeah.
is just, for some reason, it hates like 4-year-olds because there was another part in here that said the monkey also invaded a local kindergarten classroom and scratched 4-year-old girl.
Good hell.
Why are kindergarten classrooms like,
I don't know.
they're like a target for
Maybe it's all the
crazy
like
people with
snacks.
guns and monkeys?
Maybe the monkeys like the snacks in there
Yeah, that's
or
true.
something.
Officers are said to be on high alert and have set traps to catch the animal.
Everybody looking for the monkey in the Yamaguchi. All right.
Residents have been warned not to leave their windows open, and flyers have been handed out telling people to be on the lookout.
It's just got like a monkey on there.
Have you seen this monkey?
Watch out for the monkey. It doesn't like babies.
PlayStation for sale. Call this number.
Yeah.
So,
You want to buy Bitcoin? Call this number. Also, look out for the monkey.
this is the start of a monkey uprising.
Yeah.
Monkeypox spreading sons of bees.
Yeah, I know.
So, anyways,
Bees.
that's a mad
That's
world.
no good, man.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get scratched by a monkey.
Don't like that monkey
40
business.
centimeter monkey.
Yeah, I don't know.
Scratched my ankle.
He's about 40 centimeters tall. Came in, he had real sharp nails.
Got a long nose. Got some weird teeth.
Yeah.
Looked like a guy. Very
Furry?
short.
Furry? I don't know.
Give or take.
Could have been a little Irishman. Could have been a monkey. Hell, we don't know.
Scratched my kid and ran off.
Yeah, I swear it's a monkey. I didn't scratch that little bastard. It was a monkey.
I keep that screen door shut.
That's why I installed a screen door last year because my wife was complaining all the monkeys coming in. We didn't know they were smart enough to
They're all
open it.
scratched up as they're talking. Oh, yeah.
I'm about ready to move out of Yamaguchi if you ask me. I don't know.
I can't take this in Yamaguchi.
I hate this place.
Going down.
I'm heading to Tokyo.
So, yeah. Let's talk about this list here.
Okay. Let's do
we
it.
got 50 foods that last indefinitely.
Yeah, that's a long
Number
time.
7 will blow your mind.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Craziest.
Yeah.
I don't know what number 7 is.
It's like those articles, they're the worst, and then you have to click,
Yeah.
and then it goes to a new
It
page every
shows
single
like
time.
some fruit you've never seen. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know I haven't been storing that.
It's like an
It's
alien.
not even in the list.
Yeah, it's like peaches and
It shows somebody
apples.
holding it, and it's like Tom Cruise in the back. You're like, he
it's
what?
Tom Cruise is eating it. Top Gun, I gotta eat it.
Celebrity. Now that
Celebrity
looks
fruits.
celebrity twins that look identical. Click. And you start going through that. None of them are on there.
Yeah.
But
What
yeah.
fruit are you? Find out here. My wife does those all the time. What Stranger Things character are you? What prepper food are you? We should do one of those on our website.
We should do that.
It's a stupid questionnaire.
What prepper food would you be?
At the end, it's always nutrient survival. Everything is.
Always.
Always. You end up with the same answer.
Well, before we talk about the foods themselves, obviously there's proper storage of food to keep it lasting a long time.
Sure, yeah.
Keep it away from air. Keep it away from water. Keep it away from your kids.
Monkeys.
Those are all
Viruses.
important things to keep
Yeah.
it good. And when we talk about food spoiling, it's usually like going rancid.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you don't want bacteria. And a
Yeah.
lot of these foods are kind of resistant against that. So the bacteria is not what's happening. It's turning rancid and disgusting.
Ugh.
And that's why I got to pick good food that
Yeah.
don't grow bacteria on it.
Yeah, milk is not great for
No.
indefinite.
I got 2 cans of it in the basement. Keep it nice and warm.
Yeah.
It's all expanded.
Bananas.
Oh,
Last
yeah.
indefinitely.
Oh, they do. They sure do. But some of the things that you can use to store them in, probably the best one's Mylar bags.
Yeah.
And the only trick with Mylar bags is you gotta have some skill and understand how to store in them. Most of the time, you can just buy food that's already in Mylar bags.
Yeah, you can do that.
Nutrient Survivals, aren't those Mylar bags, or are they just?
I don't know.
They're great bags.
They're great bags, best bags
cares?
on the market, probably.
Best place to get your food. But Mylar bags are probably the best way to kind of control the moisture and keep them safe and keep sunlight out. Jars are also really good, and I'm not saying these can never be used, but they're better more for like if you're going to get into them because you're rotating.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you fill it up with peanut butter. It's like, I don't twist the lid off. It's just like what you get in the store. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
But they're not great for long-term storage because things can work their way through the little grooves in the threads of the lids and stuff like that.
I don't like that.
And also, I don't know if you know, but glass jars break. So
Yeah.
you get a tornado cane,
Fragile.
or
Yeah.
earthquake cane, anything like that, they're going to fall off and break. So you got to secure those a lot better. So a little harder to make a nice storage room for all your jars. Food grade plastic is good. They're a little harder to keep airtight, but a great option for smaller organized rotating of food. Buckets are really good because at bulk storage, they store better, they stack, but the seal is not airtight, and it can be hard to be for sure that whatever you put in them is been sealed off from moisture and all that. But they can be really good if you combine it with like putting your Mylar bags or individually like package things into those buckets and then seal them and then throw in an oxygen absorber.
That'll
and
last
then bury them in cement.
for the end of time.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a great one. Vacuum sealing is great, but it doesn't last forever. Like air isn't fully removed. Plus, they can start leaking over time with the negative pressure in there. Positive pressure gets in, osmosis, and
I don't know math.
coronal mass ejection.
I don't get math.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And then you want to buy a bunch of oxygen absorbers. You want to be sure there's no oxygen in there, just throw one of those in there.
It absorbs the oxygen.
It's great. I'm not going to go into the science of it.
Yeah.
But you won't have oxygen.
Yeah. I'm not
And
a
if you're
food
real
scientist.
concerned about like the types of plastic, get a food safe plastic. And there's different types. There's like high density polyethylene, which
That's
is
my
the
favorite.
best.
I
That's
love those.
top of the charts.
I've been collecting them.
And polypropylene, low density polyethylene.
Those are all right.
Yeah. But if you want to know like more specific details on storing food, like I really like the site primalsurvivor.net. Primalsurvivor.net. Check it out. But let's get into these foods. I'm eager.
Man, I cannot wait. And we're starting off with a bang, boy. You know what I mean? Like we are hitting it hard right from the get-go. Bouillon cubes.
It's a bouillon.
Yeah, we went right for the goods. So bouillon cubes, I don't know what they are, but I just found out. Basically, they're cubes of fat and bones. They just cook down, cook. They leave it on the stove overnight. I don't know how they do it, but and then there's just like fat and bone and stuff. But apparently, if you keep them dry and you keep air, like they just last for a really, really long time. And the great thing about bouillon cubes is they make stuff taste great.
They do.
And you're in an apocalypse for extended amount of time. You want great food. It tastes great. And these are a great way to make like rice or
Chicken
beans.
flavor.
Chicken flavor.
Cotton candy flavor.
Cotton candy bouillon cubes. Yeah.
That's so
Grape
gross.
jelly bouillon
But
cubes.
I think these are honestly one of the few things that are like fat, oil based that kind of store longer.
That's why I expected them not to to store for
Get
that
all
long.
rancid. And,
But I'm like, hell yeah, go give me some.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some
Bouillon.
bouillon.
The next one, cornstarch.
Yeah.
Cornstarch. Use all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Keep your groin dry.
Yeah. That's a way.
And also added to a lot of foods to make them thicker.
Yeah, well, you could, use
Gravies.
it in the morning for your crotch and then take the excess off. Use it to make gravy. Right?
I've been rolling this dough all day.
Oh, gosh. I've been making this roux all day long. We're going to make some friggin' gravy tonight.
Try it out. It's good.
I'm gonna invite the parents over. We're going to have mashed potatoes and gravy. I'm not going to tell them where this gravy
What's this crunchy stuff on the chicken? You don't want to know.
What's this curly hair in my chicken? This is weird.
You said curly fries.
Yeah, no.
Curly hair.
Yeah, cornstarch.
Yeah, it's great. You can store it for several years. You want to keep it in a vacuum tight pack, Mylar bag preferably. You can put it in jars. You don't want to leave it in the box that you buy it in because all kinds of stuff
Stuff's
can penetrate
whack.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can last indefinitely. So maybe get you a big old batch of it, put it in some bags, store it in a bucket.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it anymore.
That's such
You're
a
like
good idea.
cornstarch expiration.
Never.
Yeah, second coming.
Second coming. Yeah, the millennium. That's great.
But yeah, cornstarch is a good one, and it's used in a ton of different foods.
I like that.
And on your body. Has some
Perfect.
medicinal uses in a way.
You know what? This next one's probably my second favorite. Salt.
Yeah, unflavored bouillon.
Dude, salt is the best.
It
makes
is.
Everything tastes good. It
Sounded
preserves.
like Coach.
Did I?
Yeah, this is the best.
Who else can wear this much green and look this dope? No. Salt.
She can be like, oh, don't say moist. And then be like,
That cake is so moist.
that cake is so moist.
Salt, it preserves meat. It's like your body needs salt. Okay?
It does.
It really needs it. Salt's got a bad rap over the years, but we're starting to learn that salt's actually pretty damn good for you. You need it.
If you got
all
some
right?
blood pressure issues,
Yeah, but even they
Or
are
heart
questioning
failure.
this. Heart failure, maybe so. But they are questioning the blood pressure thing too. I read several articles this year where they're like, I don't know if salt's doing it. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
is this Reader's Digest?
No. I was. It was in a comic book, but it sounded
Apparently,
real.
Cyclops said.
Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't use it.
Batman said it.
I
wasn't.
honestly, so they have a list of like blood pressure effects, and salt is on there as it's like a 4. I think it's 5 to 6 point. So if you eliminate
Raises it.
salt down to avoid it in your diet, it's like a 4 to 5 point drop. That's going from 140 blood pressure
to 1
to 1. Yeah, it's I'm not saying that it can't help with.
So
the
if
blood
I'm at
pressure.
170, I just got to cut out salt. I'll be good.
Yeah.
166.
So, anyways, it's not a huge effect, and this isn't medical advice here.
No,
but I'm just saying, like, I love salt.
Yeah.
And it's a great one to store.
It really is. And here's the thing. They have iodized salt, and then they have like the natural
true.
salt. So iodized salt won't last as long because
really?
of the chemicals in it. It's got chemicals. And so they said that's like a 5-year shelf life, and I'm sure it's beyond that, but that's like the official, like FDA says 5 years. But if you're going with
Is
the
iodine bad in this?
this iodine's gone bad.
And this chicken's good, but the iodine is really weird tasting.
How old is this salt? Seriously. But if it's the natural, like, salt, like, we usually have, like, the pink Himalayan salt.
That's the best
That
stuff.
shit lasts forever.
It tastes so good, though.
Oh, it's the best.
Like, you wouldn't think different salts, but...
Yeah, but what I love is they actually have expiration dates on it. Have you seen those memes where it's like, natural salt's been there for thousands of years, just expired. Just
seen
missed it.
that.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But those last forever.
You've got to use your judgment with these foods. It's like,
Yeah.
are you going to get sick from eating expired salt?
Nah.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed you're getting monkeypox.
Yeah. I just want to buy one of those, like, Mylar, like, I just want a big old stone that's
Yeah,
just salt brick.
just
sitting-
lick it, man.
And I don't need to store it. It looks beautiful.
I had one of those little salt rocks when I was a kid.
I did too.
I would just lick it once a day, pretty much. I had it by my bed. I'd lick it and I'd go
did
about
too.
my day.
I did too. We went, so when my dad would go and get feed from
Yeah.
like IFA or something, I'd go over to the rabbit
Get those little
department or
blocks.
whatever.
Yeah.
And they'd have the little circle, like the donut ones or the blocks. I'm like,
Yeah.
Dad, can I get one of these?
I need this.
And he's like, sure. And it, like, I think I bought a brown one day that has like
my
minerals in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this one tastes different. He's like, well, that's all they got. Do you want it or not?
Shut up. Lick your salt.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
that's the way I am.
I did.
I've been licking bunny salt for.
I had
my
one
childhood.
next to my bed. It was probably so full of bacteria and stuff from licking it every day.
It's so weird how you like kind of crave.
Yeah.
Though, like we get that Morton salt to like make ice cream, and and like if like a big old granule falls on the table, I'm like, oh man, this is so good.
yeah. Or like when you have like a steak and you got them real big chunks of salt
yeah.
on there.
Yeah,
That's like
the
orgasm.
Brazilian. Yeah,
That's like pure
Brazilian
orgasm for me,
churrasco,
dude.
Man,
I will.
it's my favorite.
Ooh, so
I don't even knock it off. Like you just
knock
leave
it off. Yeah, I know
the
it's
salt
good.
on there. I'm leaving it on.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good stuff.
So salt, get it.
Anyways, that was a
Boy.
20-minute talk on
Sorry
salt.
about that. Let's move on.
White rice.
No, let's do sugar.
Yeah. Rice is one of the
No,
most.
let's do sugar.
Oh yeah, I skipped you.
Yeah,
Oh dang.
I'm the blue. You're the
Sugar's so
green.
important.
Yeah.
Similar to salt, sugar's a great way to preserve foods
Sure.
and add flavors and make all sorts of
It's
stuff.
sweet.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
So sweet.
It can be preserved for a long time if kept properly.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's easy. You're gonna need it for everything. Well, not everything.
Pretty
Salt's more
much,
important
though.
in mine, but yeah, baking, cooking. You won't make bread.
Don't mix
you gotta
them
have
up.
salt
When you're baking.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
But yeah, keeping it dry is probably the most important
Mm-hmm.
thing to storing it, and then it can absorb flavors too. So you want to
Mm-hmm.
avoid sticking it on top of like your silage pit.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want it there.
Don't store it along your
Compost
with your
pile. Yeah.
I like to keep all my deodorants dry, so
Yeah.
I stuff them in the sugar bucket.
For sure.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Soaps.
sugar's a great one.
Yeah. How about white rice? Cam
I
was
already
trying to get here.
mentioned-
He was getting here. He really
Is that number
was.
7? No,
I don't
dang
know.
it.
I don't know. But look,
That's number 5.
white rice. This is not brown rice.
Seems backwards,
It does.
but
White rice, brown rice has a lot of oil apparently. So like in a couple of months, you don't want to eat that stuff. But white rice, bro, this stuff just
of course
lasts.
you would say.
I
whatever.
know, that's just how I am. It is versatile food, man. Like every culture eats rice pretty much.
They do.
And has a really long shelf life. Obviously, vacuum pack these in smaller meal-sized bundles because if you have like a 150-pound thing of rice, you open it, you got to eat
Yeah.
it. You got to eat it pretty soon, right?
That's a good idea.
So vacuum pack it into smaller things. So this is a really good way. This is a good way to prevent exposing all of your rice to fresh air when it's just not needed. So white rice, not brown rice.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's great, man.
I'm just gonna build a negative pressure like vacuum tainer. So I'm just go
Okay.
in
yeah.
like they did for moon landings and just
Sure.
go in there. All my food's gonna be stored in there.
That's a great way to do
Yeah.
it.
Pasta.
Oh gosh.
Pasta.
Yeah.
So it obviously it's going to be probably one of the most popular things for people to eat when they're depressed and
Yeah.
when you know
It's a comfort food.
it's an easy food to like make and it tastes good. You can add all kinds of different sauces.
I'm
to
not
it.
a huge pasta fan. Like I just never have been, but it's good.
Yeah.
You
I don't
know?
eat a lot of pasta either.
Yeah, we don't. We eat sketties once in a while.
we ate skitties last night.
Did you? Oh
Yeah.
man, was it good?
It was good.
Awesome.
But pasta can be stored to last a long, like 25 plus years.
It's a long time.
Yeah. It does, unfortunately, it's really dry, so it can absorb food flavors around it. So don't store your cat food and your dog food around pasta because it's going to absorb it. And you're going to be
That's-
eating chicken bits
Yeah.
flavored pasta.
Fish.
You got to be careful too when selecting your pasta. Like some of them, the egg-based ones and things like that, they do have oils and fats.
I love the egg-based ones.
I do
though.
too.
The egg noodles.
Oh,
ooh,
they're so good.
yes.
That's like old-fashioned
Yeah.
chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, that's
that
what
your
we use
grandma
it for.
makes.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Many foods like that you make are going to revolve around putting some pasta in it. So
For
you're
sure,
going to want
yeah.
a good amount of storage of this. Again, kind of like what you're saying with the rice, it's best to keep it not in one big bulk
Yeah.
that you're going to open and expose
Like
it
a
to the air.
barrel of tortellini or whatever.
55-gallon barrel of
not
just spaghetti. But it stores really well. So it gets a little bit like kind of like a musty flavor over time.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you keep it away from food and moisture and away from other things that it can absorb flavor from, you got a good easy storage of pasta.
Nice. I like that. How about dried beans, Cam?
It's like the versatile.
It really
it's like
is.
a essential food for
like
preppers.
high in protein, it really
Got, like,
nutrition,
almost all amino acids and
yeah,
good stuff.
it's really great, and you can have it with everything. You could have pasta and beans if you wanted.
Yeah, you
put a
could.
little sugar on there.
You can do whatever.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You know,
Cornstarch.
yeah. But again, you got to keep them.
Kids want some cornstarch on your
Yeah, I'm gonna
beans.
spice this up a little bit. Yeah, but keep them in airtight containers, and they're gonna last indefinitely. Plus, they are the musical fruit, so
Yeah.
that's great.
Their little hard shell protects them for eternity.
It does, yeah. Dried beans, that's a great one.
That is a good one. Oats, versatile grain.
Oh my gosh.
I almost
That
spilled
would've
that
been
drink. I
bad.
almost had to start over again.
Yeah.
But it's a great breakfast food. It's it's a good filler. Like
It is.
oats are really good at keeping you feeling full for a long time. So,
Mm-hmm.
and they're a great one to store. They're dried up. You can put them, store them in bags, and they last for a long time too. So
And they're
nothing
healthy.
super exciting about
No.
oats, but they're a good storage.
They'll
food.
get the job done.
They do.
You know
They
what I
do.
mean? Here's another one. How about chia seeds? This is something that
Chia.
I know, like, you don't use them a lot. Well, some people probably don't, but great, high in fiber and whatnot. Wrote the chia seeds, I'm guessing.
I never
right?
thought about putting those in a storage thing.
Like you can put them like in Ziploc bags, but obviously better in vacuum packed bags. They're gonna last forever. High amount of antioxidants. They will last 4 to 5 years even without refrigeration. So these will last a long time. Chia seeds.
Yeah,
It's a
and
good
you can
one.
have a chia pet for fun.
Oh yeah,
Why
those
not?
are so much fun.
Coffee.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good vice that you can use to barter. So it's great for that too.
Yep.
But when stored properly, coffee can last 20 years or longer.
That's a long time.
So it's an easy deal. Most varieties of instant coffee are freeze dried, and they can store for a while, even in their original packaging. However, storing in mylar and oxygen absorbers can extend this greatly.
Nice.
So it can last quite a long time.
For sure.
Look, there's a sneaky one.
that one snuck
That
in.
might push us to 50.
That might, yeah.
Powdered Jello actually lasts for freaking ever.
And it's
And,
good.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that have shown like for some like a little boost of energy if you're bugging out, having like a Jello pack that you can pour like in
Just
the
in some
winter or
water.
something. And you got like a little energy drink right there.
That's a great one, yeah.
So powdered Jello is easy to store. Plus, you can have fun with it.
How about powdered milk?
Yeah,
See, I'm not big on powdered milk, but Cam does this. He uses.
I do
you-
because I just know it's going to be needed for a lot
for
of
sure.
cooking.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
None of
is.
it tastes great.
No, but it's one of those survival foods. It's gonna last for decades, and it's gonna be useful all the time. They said in good conditions, it can last up to 20 years. I mean, that's a freaking long
milk.
time.
That's
yeah,
what's
for
crazy.
milk, it's nuts. Most manufacturers are gonna recommend that you use it within 18 months, but that's like the manufacturer like best buy date.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. But according to like the actual USDA website, it can be stored indefinitely.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that is powdered milk. You gotta have that.
Because I have some cans that say on there they're expired, and I'm like, what should I
Yeah.
do with them? And looking that up, I saw that too. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
freak, I can just keep them.
I would just keep them for sure. So powdered milk.
Yeah. So top ramen.
Mm-hmm.
So ramen, it's already dried pasta basically,
Yeah.
and it has a little packet in there that you could put on anything. You
Yep.
don't even have to put it on the ramen. You can eat it dry,
Yeah.
and it can last several years too. Like it's a good. That's the nice thing about ramen is like I buy it in that like crate thing, and then just stick it up, and you don't
Yep.
even have to mess with it.
And they're so cheap.
And it's so easy for like it's a quick, easy meal for kids. That's
Yeah.
actually tastes good. So
yeah, it does taste good. Horrible for your body, but
it is
tastes
horrible.
good.
But
But
when
it
you
tastes
want
good.
a lot of carbs and
Yep.
because you're dying of starvation, ramen's great.
Well, it's gonna hit the spot.
And
for
so
sure.
it's pretty easy to store, and I think it can go up to 10 years. But again,
Yeah.
it's a dried pasta. You want to keep it away from anything because it can start to take on those flavors of other
Yep.
things.
And so let's go to spices. So this is just kind of spices in general. There's a lot of different
He who controls the spice
controls
the universe.
universe. Most say, as a general rule, whole spices, they're going to stay fresh for about 4 years. Ground spices, 2 to 3 years, and dried herbs, 1 to 3 years.
Oh, breaking them up is not as good. Huh?
But really, they last indefinitely if they're properly
it's
stored.
like not going to poison you.
No.
It's just not
They're
fresh.
probably going to lose some potency. Like, it's not going to spice like
Your
it used to.
post-apocalyptic restaurant probably won't be wanting to use.
No, probably not. But again, you can still use your seasoned salt or your whatever other spices you've got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to be fine to consume after that time frame. But if you store them well, they're going to last for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
So you got to have spices too.
You do.
You've got to. Be
I
able
love
to
like
spice
the
stuff up.
Montreal steak seasoning from McCormick, but it has a lot of fat in it.
Oh, yeah, so-
it doesn't store
So it might cake
as
over
long,
time.
so you got to be
Yeah,
careful with that.
for sure.
More for the rancidy taste, not that it's going to poison
Yeah.
you. Hardtack.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever made hardtack?
Mm-mm.
Kind of been curious. It sounds good, kind of. It's
Yeah,
like
it does.
chewing on bread, like
Yeah.
crust.
Yeah, really, yeah.
So it's a mixture of flour and water to form hard cracker that keeps for decades. Crackers can store well, but a lot of them have fats and
Yeah.
and stuff in them that are gonna and that's gonna
bad.
cause them to go bad and rancid and soft. So when making hardtack, it's just flat out like flour and water, and it's dehydrated and it lasts forever.
Yeah.
Soldiers carried it with them in the Civil War. It's hard and it doesn't taste great, but it can be added to a lot of things. You can dip it in whatever you want, you know?
Dip it in your salt.
Yeah.
And your sugar. Just like
Right.
lick it, dip
But-
it, go.
But yeah, it's just basically flour that's been mixed and hardened,
Mm-hmm.
and you just got it in sheets or whatever you want to do with it.
Yep. That sounds
That sounds
good.
super yummy.
Num-nums. How about freeze-dried meals? This is obviously a staple for preppers.
Yeah.
You can't have a discussion with foods that last indefinitely without talking about it. You know, meals produced by companies like Nutrient Survival, they can store like up to 30 years, sometimes even longer. The biggest drawback to these, obviously, is they're expensive because they're pre-made and they actually taste pretty good, most of them. Obviously, we suggest Nutrient Survival because it's like a whole meal. Like, you don't have to have 20 different things and bring it together to have a meal and to have all of the nutrients you need. That's the hard
And it's
part.
not just like a filler.
Yes,
Like,
it's not just a
You're
filler.
getting vitamins and minerals,
Yes.
and
So,
don't waste your time.
yeah, so they're probably not going to make up everything in your food storage because we were talking about all these other things, but they're so nice to have for a really easy meal in the apocalypse, and they freaking they last forever.
Right.
Man, that's the nice
And
thing.
they're
So-
already, like you said,
Yeah.
mixed into a meal. So you
Exactly.
don't have to like only flour.
Yep.
Let me make my meal.
Yep. So there you go. Freeze-dried meals.
Another thing I've never made, but
Mm.
I've been interested in tasting, but pemmican, it's kind of on that line of like hardtack. It's like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you're taking all of this stuff. Pemmican is a mixture of fat and berries and like a wild game,
Mm-hmm.
usually deer, elk, or something like that. And it's like a packed brick of
Yeah.
this that's kind of been dried out that you just kind of eat for.
Looks like one of those gross protein bars.
It looks super gross.
Yeah.
It looks like the stuff that they put down before carpet.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It looks like that
Like
padding.
the padding. Yeah. I can see
But
that.
but you can see how that would have like tons of protein
For sure.
and nutrients in it, and it lasts a lot longer just to how you prepare it. So maybe
like
you can
that.
make a bunch of pemmican.
Oh, yeah. How about tea?
Yeah, teas.
Yeah, our UK brothers and sisters, they love this stuff. They drink it all the time.
All day. They're
It's
drinking it as they're listening.
Yeah, as they're listening right now. But it's a great alternative to coffee, you know, because it has that caffeine in it that you need, that you want, that you just crave. Freaking caffeine, you know. So if you're prepping, it might be easiest to kind of stock up on those pre-bagged teas, and it's a great survival food. It's basically going to last you indefinitely if it's stored properly. So tea, man, look
Tea's
at it.
a good one.
Get it.
It's a good
Tea's
time. You pass the
delicious.
time. Just
Some
sipping
of
on
them are
some tea.
good. Some of them taste like black, disgusting
Yeah.
water. But some of them are
They
good.
do. Like pan water that sat in the sink.
Yeah, like soaking your steak pan overnight, you know. And then you just heat it up and put it in a cup.
Yeah, just it's exactly what it kind of reminds me of. Ugh.
Delicious.
It's good.
Tastes a little like meatloaf.
Let's
and all.
move on to liquids and sauces.
Oh, this gets scary.
Yeah. Because you're like, man, nothing that's liquidy is going to stay for very long.
You're wrong.
Wrong.
You're totally wrong.
Number one, this is like an eternal food.
Yeah.
John the Baptist
Oh.
loved this stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's his
I guarantee he
favorite.
was sucking on this all day long. John, get that honey out your mouth, boy. We got to do some baptisms. He's got it in his fingernails.
I got baptized. My hands are all sticky.
Yeah. Can you just baptize me one more time? I got to get this honey
that's
off
why
my
I became
face.
a Baptist and wash all the honey off.
Of course.
All right, that was. We'll stay out of the religious jokes here.
Nah.
Honey is the greatest
Yeah.
and weirdest substance. It really is. Like
Dude, it's great.
freaking little flies, little
They're
insects.
bees. They're not flies. They're bees.
I'm just saying in general. Little,
In general,
little black and yellow insects that fly.
those flying spidery things. I don't know.
Little stinger bee
Yeah.
flies. Yeah.
Jeez.
Anyways, it's just a really weird thing that's made
is.
by a insect.
It's like almost a perfect food.
It really is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's super expensive
Oh
to
my
buy
gosh.
a good amount of it.
But it's so delicious.
But obviously, it can be added to many things. It can be stored for freaking ever.
Dude, I put honey on so much weird stuff that people are like, what are you doing?
You don't have to share.
I know. And I'm talking about food. Not body parts or nothing.
I'll put a little on my knuckles. And then when
I got
get
honey
to
knuckles,
work,
baby.
I get to
I got the honey knuckles.
I'll let a little dry on my lower lip. I'll suck on it during the day.
I let a little crust right there in my nose. I can smell it all damn day.
Dip my beard in it. Suck on it during the day. Anyways, it's amazing food, obviously.
Oh my gosh.
Stores
man.
forever. You don't have to do much to store it.
Yeah.
And it can be used for medicinal uses.
For sure.
And it's like kids love it. It's good for coughs. I mean, it's great. So you can seal that stuff up, and you'll be glad you did. You'll graduate with it.
Yeah.
But the other thing, I guess you can dry honey out. There's ways to do that too. So you have like a
Really?
honey powder.
Oh,
That sounds
geez.
great.
I'll put that on stuff too. I'll put it in some water. Gosh.
Man, I would mix it up and make honey out of it.
Dude, you'd have honey all the time you wanted honey.
Yeah. Anyways,
Bro, honey's
honey
my
is
bag.
probably one of the best things.
I
which
love it.
Y'all knew that.
Yeah. How about pure vanilla extract? I'm not big on the vanilla. I'm just not. But it's still
Favorite
something.
ice cream is just vanilla ice cream.
Is it?
That's my favorite.
You and my dad, you weirdos.
Yeah, I love your dad.
He no,
loves vanilla ice
we'll
cream.
go to freaking like Cold Stone.
I do
like,
too.
Can I have some vanilla? Oh, do you have a sarsaparilla I can
Can I
sip with
taste
that?
that vanilla?
What's it taste like? Vanilla bean? That sounds extreme. Do you
I
have
like
just
it.
regular
I like
vanilla?
just the old plain Jane.
Yeah, it's weird. But I mean, vanilla beans have caused countries to go to war. People love the vanilla.
Yeah.
It's extremely valuable, but you can like make this stuff last a long time. But you should secure the pure vanilla extract. That's what you need. You can freeze it, and it's gonna last.
If you want
Forever.
anything to last forever, just
Just freeze it.
get it below 0.
Yeah.
And you're safe.
I know. I don't want my kids to die, so I'll put them freezing in for a bit.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, good idea. Just make sure. Apparently, you don't want to just sip pure vanilla extract. I didn't know that.
I always thought, like, have you, like, when you make something, I'm like, I got a little on my finger. And it's like,
Yeah, so that's your mouth.
all
like
of your
on fire.
salivary glands
Yeah.
clench.
I don't
Butthole
like the
clenches.
smell of vanilla. I don't like the taste of it.
You really?
Yeah,
No,
like
I don't
I'll
like it.
eat vanilla ice cream, but like I just don't like. You know, like everybody's like, "Oh, it's vanilla. It smells so good."
That's how
And that's how they sound. Yeah. I just don't like it.
We got pistachio, we got dreamsicle, and we have vanilla.
Well, vanilla. Yeah, I don't like it.
It's good stuff though. It can be added
For
to
sure.
whatever
yeah,
you
yeah,
want.
Yeah.
Maple syrup, similar to honey,
Yeah.
comes from Canada. They couldn't figure the honey thing out,
No.
so they started pulling it from trees.
We got honey, Ava. We got this tree sap. You guys want to try?
Yeah, so weird in itself as well. But
Mm-hmm.
flavors a lot of things. Like the pure kind can last a long time.
Interesting.
So, like honey, these syrups, like maple syrup, they can separate, and you just get kind of the crusty part of the sugar kind of separates out of
Oh,
the
yeah.
liquids and stuff like that. You just mix it back together.
Oh,
Get it warm.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
so
wanna do that.
don't worry about it. If it
Okay.
turns into crystallized crap, you can still use it.
Mhm.
So, anyways, maple
that.
syrup's a good one to store to add to things.
My one daughter, she lives off of maple syrup.
Really?
It's like 80% of her diet
Yeah.
is maple syrup. She always smells like syrup. Always.
That's okay. It smells good.
Yeah. It smells like breakfast. No, that's Emmy. All right. Distilled liquor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. So when we talk about distilled liquor, we're referring to rum, whiskey, or scotch. Apparently,
Okay,
I don't know that
that.
much about liquor. I don't really drink it. I don't drink it. I don't really drink it. I don't drink it. But these types of alcohol, they're
There's a
desired
whole world there. I don't.
more
No.
when they get older. Like the older they get, the better they are. So
Opposite of humans.
opposite of humans. Well, yeah,
Not always.
I think men get better as they age. I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kobe's comments have gotten me in trouble because
I've gotten in some.
I'll add on to them and I get in trouble.
They're not just my comments. Come on,
Yeah.
don't blame me for everything.
No,
But anyways,
100% Kobe.
distilled liquor, that's a great one to get and keep forever.
Yeah, great bartering item.
Yeah.
Distilled white vinegar. If you don't want to drink the liquor.
Yeah.
It's sometimes, obviously, it's used to preserve other foods. And so, how did beer slip in here? It's kind of in a weird spot. See that?
No. Oh, you got beer too. Oh man, we
I
definitely
think
got 50.
We got 50.
We got
easy.
50. Yeah.
But vinegar can store for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You can take some bottles of white wine and store them improperly, allowing them to turn into vinegar as they age.
I
Did
didn't
you
know
know
that.
that?
No.
I didn't either. And so, and like I said, using it to like pickle and store other things, it's a good preservative. It's like salt. Can
Pickles
be
are
added to
great.
things, and it has some medicinal uses.
Yeah.
It's good for blood sugars and kidney stuff.
Oh, nice.
Beer.
Oh.
It's complicated substance to have. Good
Yeah.
bartering item, but certain types of beers can store for a while. If you're a beer drinker, you can look into this more.
Yeah.
The higher alcohol content your beer has, the longer it can be stored. So here in Utah, it lasts about a week.
Yeah.
The international brands usually being able to be stored for a year or more, but it's
Man,
this
you
isn't
think it would
like
be longer than that.
yeah. And beer can be used to cook and flavor other things. So
Yeah.
has some uses there, but.
Beer battered anything tastes delicious.
I'm not storing any beer, but I'm just saying if you're a beer drinker, look into the certain types and you can freeze it too.
Yeah.
So
Are you going to store some soy sauce?
heck yeah,
Because this one, if it's never opened, basically it can last forever.
I believe it.
And it's because it's
I think all the
straight
soy's
salt.
already been made
Yeah.
back in like the early.
Yeah. Basically, the
Chinese
reason why is
dynasty.
because it's straight salt. It's like
Yeah.
all sodium.
Why does it taste 10 times saltier than salt?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Maybe mixed with the soy.
Maybe.
I don't know. But, after the first few years, the quality isn't going to be as good, but it's just going to last forever. But you got to have some soy sauce. I'm not big on soy sauce, but people love it.
Yeah.
People are all about it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not big on it, but it is what it is. Get your soy sauce.
Get your soy sauce.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of condiments can be stored for a long period. Freezing them obviously stops microbes and degradation and things like that. So freezing your condiments is probably one of the better things to do. Because that's going to be rough, not having your ketchup and your mustard and all that stuff.
Mayonnaise.
The little packets, I actually looked it up on those packets that how long they last. Because you'll find them in a drawer and you're like, I wonder if it's okay.
Yeah.
You're really very unlikely to get sick on them. Mayo's the only scary one to me.
Dang it, that's my favorite though.
Yeah,
I love
see,
mayo.
I don't like mayo.
I love it.
Put it on anything. But that one's a little higher risk. But like ketchup is probably the next one to expire sooner. But like if you're using relish, if you're using mustard and stuff like that, those can be stored. If you freeze them, they're going to last even longer.
Interesting. You can have like relish popsicles.
You I don't got any otter pops, but
relish
I do
sickles.
have a relish.
Relish sickles, nums.
A little mustard sickle.
Yeah.
My kids would eat it that way.
Yeah.
Well, Bennett, no, but
How about apple cider vinegar?
that's a great one.
The thing about it is it cures every disease known to man.
That's great.
You didn't know that? Maybe
My
you
wife
did.
uses it on all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I think if you soak your hair in it for
Yeah.
a week, it'll keep all the color or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I smell it all the time. I'm like,
That's so gross.
what'd you use it for? Oh, cleaned this.
Have you ever just
Oh,
taken
I
a,
used
a
it on my
shot
skin
of that
here.
stuff?
Oh, yeah, I like it.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It seems opposite to help like reflux and stuff like that,
But it
but it's
does,
actually
yeah.
good.
It's
So,
great for a lot of things. But if you keep it sealed, that stuff's lasting a long time. So
Yeah.
get you some apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oils, like coconut oil specifically, also called virgin coconut oil. This type of coconut oil has the most nutritional benefits. Shelf life has been documented anywhere to 2 to 5 years. I know that doesn't sound like a lot if you're being super lazy, but for an oil and a fat and something to add to cooking, like that's a lot longer.
It does make everything taste a little coconutty, though.
A little bit.
I've used it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Used
I
to
think
use it all the time.
all of it's up in our closet for my wife to put in her hair or something. Too.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Some weird. I don't know. I'm always going into the bathroom and there's like weird concoctions being built. I'm like, it's like when I was a little
science
kid.
lab in my bathroom.
I
all
remember
the time.
doing that as a little kid, like making potions. And I don't know how I didn't kill myself, but I'm like,
I mixed some weird
oh
stuff.
gosh, there would be like something on the driveway.
Making potions was so fun.
Oh gosh, there'd be something on the driveway. I'm like, I'm gonna clean this off. I'm gonna get it right, like on the cement. So I'd go in and I'd mix every cleaner we had, and I'm like, how did I not die?
I know.
You know,
there's a couple I remember mixing, and I coughed for like a week. It's like burned my lungs.
I know. So, but I always go in the bathroom with some weird like concoction. There's like sugar and some other like oil, and there's some other thing, and she's like mixed it all together, and I'm like, what is this?
It's just for my hair.
I know.
Or
I'm
I'm
like,
like, what?
how'd your hair not just like dissolve and
It doesn't
fall
make
off?
any sense.
Yeah. But so coconut oil, good cooking oil that can be stored for a long period. And speaking of oils, hydrogenated oils like Crisco, 5 years. Peanut
Beautiful.
oil, 3 to 4 years.
Oh, that's-
olive,
Gotta have peanut oil.
3 years or more. These can store a little longer. It's just their flavor and their taste becomes a little funky. Palm oil, I don't that can last forever.
Yeah.
Safflower, sunflower, canola, and soybean corn. Those all kind of drop dramatically.
Yeah.
It says coconut oil in here, but it's not talking about a virgin coconut oil. So lard and tallow, that stuff ain't lasting very long.
No.
Like 9 months maybe. So anyway, when you're storing oil, go for those like hydrogenated types, Crisco. You know, who cares about getting fat when you're storing for the apocalypse?
You got to get what you got to get.
Yeah.
How about we get to some meat?
Heck yeah, boy.
Let's get to the meat of this thing. How about dried meats?
Yeah.
Dried, salted meats, some of the most important foods you will have in your arsenal of prepping. If done properly, even meat that is kept on the shelf will last almost forever.
That's so weird.
I just didn't know that. So if you want your dried meats to last forever, vacuum packing, keeping them in the fridge or the freezer, they're going to last a really, really long time. So
yeah.
that's
It's
what you
even
gotta
on
do.
the like USDA or FDA or whatever. They say like if it's frozen, it's indefinite. It's just the flavor and the frozenness, like it gets kind of gross.
Yep.
But you can still eat it.
For sure.
And that brings me to frozen meats.
Yeah, it does.
So you can freeze dried meats, or you can just fry or freeze your
Regular
steaks.
meats, yeah.
So that's why the freezer is so important.
Yeah.
Like get your system set up so that you have a backup generator, and then eat obviously your freezer foods first if you lose power.
Yeah.
If you can keep it below freezing, closed 90% of the time, which is impossible for my kids. Don't put popsicles in there.
Yeah, don't do it.
But you can store meat, chicken, cow, wildlife, for years, and it says indefinitely, without it turning bad. It's just the meat doesn't stay high quality like Ruth Chris Steakhouse,
yeah, it's
but
not going to.
But you can still eat it.
Yeah.
And that kind of freaks me out, but you can do it.
In the apocalypse, I'm eating it.
I left that elk steak down in there forever because I just never got to it, and it was a year, and I'm like, I'm not going to throw it out.
Yeah, there's no
And
reason
so,
to. Yeah.
Anyway.
How about frozen fish? This is obviously meat as well, but fish, they're tricky because it feels like as soon as they come out of the water, they start to stink and go bad, right? Like they just really do. But either if you're catching it or you're buying frozen fish, just remember that keeping them frozen well below the freezing point, that's going to keep them pretty much edible forever.
Yeah.
So you got to get them well below that freezing point, though. You know what I mean? And they said, like, in more extreme times, it might be worth looking into some more processed fish, as they're going to have preservatives added to them, probably going to make them last longer than normal fish. So, but you got to get those like omega-3s and all those things you can get from fish. So that's a great one to put on your list.
For sure. Canned meats, probably like the best way to preserve fresh meats.
Tushonka.
Yeah. Tushonka spam. They can last 5 years or so. It's been thought that a can of pickled sardines could be edible for 1,000 years.
Wow.
I saw this like article where they had they found a can from like Napoleon's army.
Wow.
That they opened and fed a cat, and the cat didn't get sick.
Wow.
Which is it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, you know what else is crazy?
What?
Cybercrime.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Scary.
It is.
At a moment, you could lose your identity just by clicking on some creepy ad.
I hate that.
Yeah. You see it pop up, click it, you can lose all your stuff. Best way to do that, click those creepy ads, is to get Surfshark.
Yeah.
Surfshark is a virtual private network that can protect you and all your devices from online threats. Subscribe to Surfshark. You can connect through it to the internet with any device. You don't have a limit.
Yeah.
And it basically just protects you because it puts your IP in a different country or a server in a whole different location, so it's not traced right back to your home.
Yep.
That's a big deal.
It is.
And it's probably the most affordable VPN you can get for $2, like roughly $2.21 a month.
Crazy.
Less than $60 for 27 months with our code Casual Preppers.
It's going to last longer than most foods.
Yeah. You're going to have 27 months of protection. And it's like the easiest app to use, but I love it. If you don't even know what it's all about, you can try it for 30 days risk-free and get your money back. Yeah. Go to surfshark.deal/casualpreppers and go online safe. Go gray man
For
online.
sure. How about we move to fruits and vegetables?
Yeah.
How about taters?
Oh,
I
yeah.
freaking love taters, man. They grow pretty much everywhere, and you can even grow them on Mars.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing.
Did you see that thing on Mars? They saw almost like a weed, like spaghetti thing tumbling around.
I didn't see that. No.
Big deal.
Oh boy, that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
So having a
Probably
few
just baling twine.
fell off of the spaceship.
Yep.
Yeah. Having a few like potatoes vacuum packed or frozen in your freezer, you got to have it. They're going to last for a really, really long time that way. And along with potatoes are those potato flakes, like the instant potato type stuff. That stuff is awesome, dude.
I love it.
Because you can use them for so many different things. You can make biscuits. You can do a whole bunch of different things with them. But you put them in those Mylar bags, 20 years or more, that stuff's going to be good. I actually really like the potato flakes stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. Like instant potatoes.
I do too. I like the flavor.
Yeah, I love it.
It's got a different flavor.
It does.
Like an almost artificial, but I like it.
It's good.
Canned beans. Beans we talked about before, dried whole beans. They're good, but canned beans will last forever as well.
Yeah.
So if they're kept in proper storage, controlled temperature and things like that, don't worry about it. Crack into those beans, add them to stuff, and they're great, easy.
Just warm
food.
them up, or you can eat them
Because
just right out
lots
of the can.
of protein too, so
Yeah.
you're getting your
Protein,
feel
fiber.
better.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
So how's it going?
Then you move on to like canned soups and like other types of canned stuff, like canned soups and veggies and stuff like that. Man, so many nutrients and things, and they're going to last forever. According to the USDA, those canned goods are basically, they'll last indefinitely if they're kept in good condition. So don't just chuck them. Because they're going to be fine as long as they're not like dented cans. And
That's what I like about the cans. It's like they're bulged. It's like, don't crack into that.
If it's bulged, you got to throw it away. But otherwise, it's good stuff. So canned soups.
One of the few instances where bulged is bad.
No, usually it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frozen veggies.
Yeah.
Either vacuum packed or in their own container, and you store them in the freezer. They can last indefinitely as well. So it's a nice way. If you have like an abundance of zucchini like we always do, it's like chop it up or just leave it and store it in your freezer.
And they're so cheap to buy like frozen vegetables at the store.
So preparing your own is probably the best way to do that.
Yeah, sure.
Into a good, strong like Mylar type bag or thicker freezer bag, and then you're good for like eternity as long as your freezer's still working.
Yeah, and then frozen fruits. How long do they last? It's kind of hard to tell because there's a lot of different things like with the storage conditions and all that thing. Just make sure it's properly stored. Frozen mixed fruit will maintain best quality for about 12 months in the freezer, although it's going to remain safe to eat after that. But you got to keep it below 0 degrees, it says, and they're going to stay good indefinitely. Well, safe indefinitely. So, as long as the package isn't damaged that they're in. So, but man, you're going to be so happy you had some fruit.
I need to freeze more fruits. I don't think I have any in there.
Yeah.
Nuts. It's nuts that you can store nuts forever.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because they got a high fat.
They are. Peanuts are probably like the least best storing ones. But as long as they're kept away from the air and moisture, because mold is typically the first thing to kind of rock the nuts, Yeah. Vacuum packed and preserved, and then if you can freeze them, I mean, you're gonna have peanuts for the rest of your life.
You got to have a big freezer.
Yeah,
because you're gonna.
I wish I had a
nuts in there. I got a smaller one, but
mine's a little chest freezer. But
yeah, it's mine too.
Throwing some of that in there. if you're concerned about whether or not you have a good location to store it, like maybe you don't have a basement or like an area that's kept under good, you know, you can't store it real well, throw it in the freezer.
Yeah, ginger.
Oh yeah.
People like it. I don't much like it, but people like it.
I don't really like it
If you
either.
dry it out, it can be kept on a shelf for several years without problems. But if it's frozen, again, it's going to last almost forever. So this freezer is very, very important. So
it is.
get a freezer.
I know.
All right.
That's what's so crazy. Like most of these things, most everything can be frozen and be good forever.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe you should just invest in a bunch of freezers. Canned vegetables, they're really not any different than any of the others. Obviously, the can's swollen, beat up, then you shouldn't eat it. But other than that, it's going to last pretty much forever.
Yeah.
So in a climate-controlled area. So.
And then we go to dried fruits. So even if they're just like stored in your pantry in the original packaging, these things are good for like 2 years probably.
Oh, that's
but if you
longer
put
than
them
I thought.
in your refrigerator, they're going to be lasting even longer. And then freezing them in an airtight container, again,
Let me
it lasts
guess.
forever.
Forever.
Yeah, indefinitely. So dried fruit, man. I love dried fruit. It's good stuff.
Whatever you're like, I got to have this.
Yeah.
Just freeze it.
Just freeze it, yeah.
Onions, underrated.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of good uses for them. They're healthy. They destroy the taste of everything else
They
around
do
them.
sometimes, yeah.
But if you have some onions in your fridge, sealed up so they don't smell up the whole place, but they can be frozen. They can be stored really well, just like most other vegetables. So I don't know why this one made on its own.
I don't know either, but it is what
It's
it is.
like potatoes and onions made it on their own.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's all right. Apparently you got 2 in a row. So
Oh, yeah, I do. That's me.
Yeah.
Lentils.
yeah.
So lentils, basically, I just lump these into beans.
Yeah, it's like they kind of seem
They're
like
just
the
a
same thing.
hard-
Yeah. They're a legume.
Yeah.
Right?
Legumes. So they already are basically built against nature. So you can store these for a long time. You don't have to always freeze these. So they're just one that you can seal up, keep away from the air.
Yeah.
You got a lot of fiber and you got a lot of protein. It's
beautiful.
It's a great one to store.
I
don't have any lentils
I don't
in
think
my,
I do either, no.
but it is a good one.
How about popcorn?
Oh, yeah.
Man, we ate.
Makes everybody happy.
We eat a lot of popcorn at our house.
Yeah.
Microwave popcorn, it's going to go bad. So follow the
It's all
expiration
fat
dates.
and greasy in there.
Follow the expiration dates on those. But if it's unpopped, properly stored kernels, they can stay good indefinitely.
I wondered about that.
So, and then, you think about it, salt lasts forever. So you can salt your popcorn at least. We got to
Just eat
figure out
popcorn the rest of your life.
got to figure out the butter because I have to
Yeah.
have butter on my popcorn. There's no doubt
There's
about
dried
that.
butter.
Yeah.
Isn't there
There's
powdered
that
butter with
ghee stuff.
survival nutrient?
Yeah, I think you can get that.
I need to get some
I
of that.
wonder how long that like fake butter stuff lasts that they use like at the movie theater. That stuff's got to be like nuclear holocaust stuff.
Well, it causes nuclear holocaust in my gut.
Yeah, for sure. But that means it probably lasts.
And
a
I
long
cause a nuclear holocaust in
time.
their
the
bathroom.
yeah. It's a trade-off.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I give it right back.
Yeah.
They must have some filtering system to pull the oils out of the
Yeah.
peanut butter.
Oh.
Peanut butter is like one of the staple foods for preppers. Like, gotta have some peanut butter.
Yeah.
Protein, you put it on everything.
Tastes
Tastes
good.
great.
Tastes good.
It doesn't always store the best.
Yeah.
So because it's got a lot of fat content in there, but can be stored properly or for a longer period if you keep it away from the air. And so buying those big, huge things of it, you might want to consider like smaller ones or resealing it in smaller mason jars and things
Yeah.
like that. One thing I thought was pretty cool is like storing your peanut butter upside down. Because if you store it upright and it separates into the
oils on
oils,
top,
then you
yeah.
have to like get into that and mix it up, and it's just not as easy. If you let it all settle to the bottom,
Yeah.
you got your peanut butters right
Good
there.
idea.
But the lower fat peanut butters are better, and natural peanut butter is probably the worst
Oh,
because
really?
it's the most high fat content, and so you're kind of getting it's
So you
going to
wanna
go
get-
rancid faster.
You want to get like the processed,
like
like
Jiffy.
Jif
Yeah.
or Skippy or
Yeah.
something.
It's kind of crappy. Like that's why it's so important to look into like survival nutrient because like all of these like natural foods store better the ones that are highly processed
Yeah.
and have preservatives in them. You're not going to get the natural stuff.
No.
So
Cool. I like that peanut butter. we talked about butter, but how about ghee? I don't really know much about this stuff. Basically, it's a kind
Ghee,
of
I
butter.
don't know.
Gee, I don't know. It's boiled down until all the moisture is gone.
I've never seen
Apparently.
this stuff.
So that's why it never goes bad. So as long as you seal it up, keep it in a cool, dry location, it can last hundreds of years.
That's crazy.
So I need to look
I'll have
into
to look
that
into it.
probably.
Don't you
Yeah.
wear one?
Yeah, usually when I go to jujitsu.
It's made of butter.
Yeah,
That's why you can't get.
that's why I'm so damn smooth out there. Like butter.
But that's the basics.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mention the real. I mean, everybody wants to know about
Yeah.
Twinkies.
Yep, Twinkies.
So Hostess contends that the little cake's shelf life is closer to 25 days.
Mm-hmm.
But a science teacher from Maine once told the Associated Press that he harbored a Twinkie in his classroom for 30 years, and despite a little stale, it was probably still good enough to eat. So that might be your eternal snack. Get a Twinkie.
Get a Twinkie.
So
I don't think they make them anymore. Do they?
I don't know. I don't ever buy Twinkies.
I don't either, but I don't.
So-
I haven't seen them.
That's true.
Have you?
Snowballs. I've seen snowballs.
Oh yeah, that ain't a Twinkie though.
I know. It basically is, isn't it?
No.
It's pink.
Yeah, but
It's got
Twinkies aren't.
coconut on it.
Twinkies are yellow.
I know, but I'm like, it's the same foam in the inside.
No, because snowballs are like chocolate type and,
That's true.
and marshmallow.
That's true, huh?
Yeah,
I haven't had a snowball in a long time. either.
those I love snowballs, but
Man, what's the world coming to? Twinkies disappeared. Ding dongs
are they gone
or
too?
con.
I used to love ding
Yeah,
dongs
so-
back in the day. Yeah, then you got like ketchup, mayonnaise.
That was
one
just
year
little
for optimal
condiment
flavor.
things.
Yep, mustard, taco sauce, Parmesan cheese, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Tabasco sauce, 3 to 4 years. Honey, salt, sugar, indefinite. So that's what you want to get.
Yeah, for sure.
So, anyways, that's like 50 foods that last indefinitely. Heck yeah. But as we move on, I want to tell you about Tac Pack, guys. They are the only monthly tactical subscription box with useful professional grade stuff inside. Use our code Casual Preppers. You're going to get a free separate bag sent of EDC gear along with your first month's Tac Pack. So go to tacpack.com, use our code Casual Preppers. You're going to get free gear. And we have one today.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, let's look at it real quick, Cam, while we're at it. Okay.
Looking at it.
Yeah. So the first item in the latest Tac Pack is the Gerber Pack Hatchet. How do they do this for under 50? I don't get it. But that's pretty rad. Then we have a tactical pen. Those are always fun to have. You know,
Oh, yep.
right there. And then we have the Hollow Point coffee bag.
Coffee.
That's going to last forever. And then we have Liberty lubricants. This is for your guns, not for your genitals. Just remember
You
that.
know where I use like all these freaking creaky doors.
Or creaky doors. Yeah,
Like
it works,
almost all
yeah.
my gun oil. I'm like, stupid door.
Stupid door.
Works really well though.
And then we have the Armaspec braided buffer spring.
Oh,
So if you're looking for a buffer spring,
Oh, right here.
you will look no longer.
Look at that buffer.
And then we have a green ogre sticker. I didn't see that in
Got
there.
a gun.
Nice. It's Shrek, basically. with a gun.
That's
So
awesome.
That's it. Use our code Casual Preppers and you're going to get free
It's
stuff.
time for the quick and dirty medical tip.
It's gonna be fast. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
So obviously, with food storing and improper storing of food, you're gonna worry about food poisoning. So that's a scary one. Most of the time, the foodborne illnesses are like self-limited. They're only gonna last a few days. The most important thing is having ways to combat the diarrhea and the fluid loss.
I don't like it.
So, Imodium is probably the first one. When it comes down to like really bad diarrhea, if it's watery, you can slow it down with pills. If it's bloody and it looks like pus or mucus, that's bad. And that's usually infection, and you probably should try and find somebody to help you out.
Get some antibiotics or something.
Yeah, usually it's infection. But if it's like straight water, usually what you get with food poisoning, you're nauseated and or throwing up with it. Rehydration salts. Make sure that you're set up to combat that, especially with kids. They're the ones that dehydrate the fastest.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's like limited 4 to 5 days of food poisoning. Don't know what it is. You never do.
No.
And you're fine. You don't normally need intense medical care. But if it's infectious, you have fever, really bad abdominal pain, obviously, you need to find some medical professional. Maybe consider starting some antibiotics. Again, not medical advice.
No.
So
Never.
other things like food poisoning, plant ingestion. Maybe you decided, I'm going to eat these dandelions.
Jeez.
Makes you sick. This came from the Prepper's Medical Handbook,
Beautiful.
which is awesome. But the if you do happen to try something that you think is safe and it gets you sick, a plant, you're going to want to get rid of that from your stomach. If you have activated charcoal, that's the best. But if you don't, you want to put the finger down your throat or a spoon.
What does activated charcoal do? Does it
It
make you throw-
absorbs.
Oh, it just absorbs
It absorbs all the
Okay.
toxins and crap so that you don't continue to be
That
sick.
makes sense.
A lot of people do this, and I've done this. Accidentally, you're siphoning gas, and you swallow a bunch of it. People freak out, and I did. But the truth is, like, you can swallow quite a bit, and it's not gonna. Your body will digest it, and it won't make you sick. You'll burp up gas forever, but it's fine. Do not induce vomiting. If it gets into your lung a little bit, you're toast.
Bad, yeah.
So keep it out of your lung. So, and then along with all this stuff, prevention. When you're preparing these foods, let's say you're into the apocalypse, you're gonna want to cook your meats real well. Obviously, rare tastes great. Well, rare, medium, well done. Just be safe about it. Cook it well. Make sure you don't cross-contaminate foods. Don't prepare some, sketchy meat. Not that you should be preparing that, but something that you've had and you're just like unsure. Don't do that and then cut up your vegetables and then all that. So cross-food contamination is always a bad thing. And, wash your hands. You're going to want to take steps to prevent food poisoning more so in those scenarios than you are, like, you probably don't take that much precaution nowadays because you have the means, but you're not going to have the water all the water that you have now. You're not going to have the medicines. You're not going to have access to medical care. So when it comes to preparing food, you want to be as safe as possible
very
and cook
careful.
it well.
Yeah.
And I highly suggest you get like a steak temperature gauge, like if you don't have one.
Meat thermometer.
Meat thermometer. So anyways, those are just some basics on food poisoning. So
I like that.
That's it.
Thank you. Guys, appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following us on all the socials. And stay survived.